right, well, it's race day. I made it up here to Seattle. The car's running good. I got a chance to give it a once over, you know, change the oil, all that kind of stuff. We got a few cool cars running with me today. Got a C6 Corvette, has the LS2 and it's a 6-speed manual. This one should give me a good race. It definitely has a weight advantage, but I think I might have a slight power advantage. Then we got this bad boy, a 68 Firebird. Now, this one's a beast. It's got a big block Pontiac, bored and stroked to some huge cubic inch. Not sure what size, but it's over like 500. It's got a roll cage, the works. This thing runs in the 10s. And lastly is the 69 Corvette. This is a fairly recently swapped LS7, so it's just over 500 horsepower. This is running the low 12s in the past, but it should be able to break into the 11s. We'll see if we can do it today. It's gonna be awesome. All right, it's about time to leave for the track. All right, so we're having some trouble with the Firebird. It's being a little stubborn today. We're thinking possibly the weak battery isn't helping it, so I'm the chosen car to try jump-starting this thing. We'll see if we can get it to fire up. So we're here at Pacific Raceways. It's a track and a drag strip here near Seattle. No dice with the Firebird, so it's just me and the two Corvettes today. It's been a minute since I've raced, and I've never actually successfully launched with roll control, so it'll be interesting today. I'm sure I'll have problems with traction. That's going to be my biggest challenge. So my plan is just to kind of do like a quick burnout with my tires to clean them and maybe heat them up just a little bit. And I think I'm going to try and lock the line lock once I'm staged. That way I can preload the drivetrain a little bit. I'm sure there's no hope for me launching with any RPM with these street tires, so I'm just going to try and kind of roll into the throttle. All right, here we go. Okay, well, not great. Definitely gave it way too much gas and lost traction off the line. I got some wheel hop there too, so that was definitely the biggest thing that killed my time. See if I can do better on the next pass. man, so close. Almost identical run. Reaction time, trap speed, all that, almost the same. That felt a lot better. I launched with actually just a little bit of RPM, maybe about 1200 RPM, and I think I could give it more. Yes, I got him, just barely. That was my best run of the day, actually, 13.5. You know, I still didn't break traction, so I think I'm gonna try and launch just a little bit harder, and we'll see if we can do a better time. Got a little bit of rubber building up here. It's awesome. All right, I'm gonna go line up with the 69 Corvette and make a couple of passes. Okay, well, I broke the throttle cable on this thing on my last run. Yeah, somewhere, I guess towards the end of the track or towards the middle of the track. Yeah, it looks like this little nut here that's supposed to go into the throttle here popped off, and I guess I was pushing a little bit hard. I got a little too excited. The bad news is it's probably out on the track somewhere, that little nut. I checked all around these little areas here in the intake manifold and I don't see it, so I guess I'll need to find one around here, or I don't know, maybe rig something up, you know, maybe clamp this thing to that so I can at least get some throttle. Not a big deal, but I'm kind of dead in the water until I get this thing put back on there. All right, well, we're headed back home to California. I did end up rigging my throttle pedal up, and I was able to get home that night. Drag racing was awesome in this thing. I feel like if I practiced my launches a little bit, I could have done maybe a little bit better and I don't know, maybe shifted a little bit quicker. So I'll definitely be back to the drag strip. Hopefully soon, you know, I'm gonna go up to Irwindale back home, and I have a pretty long ways to go before I hit the 12s, but maybe if I get the right launch, you know, and I just shift a little bit better, it's a possibility. So I think that's what I'm gonna shoot for, and we'll see if we can get there. We have a relatively short drive today, just a few hours down to Portland, and we're going to stay there for the night. All right, we made it to Portland. We found this super cool spot with some like food trucks. This city is awesome. Alright, so we're cruising up the mountains around southern Oregon and northern California, just outside of Ashland, Oregon. We're headed up towards Mount Shasta, California, and it's a pretty good mountain. Definitely a fifth gear situation. The car's maintaining its temperature pretty good. It's running at about 214 right now. Normally on flat ground, and it keeps right at about 205 to 208, and so we're only running a few degrees hotter than that normal operating temperature, about 10 degrees hotter or a little less. And it's important to note too, we have full blast on our AC, and right now it's actually just about 100 degrees out. I think about 97 degrees outside. I'll say that we runs pretty good. I wasn't sure about that radiator being a copper radiator or whatever. I was considering at the last minute maybe trying to throw in an aluminum radiator, but I think I'm going to keep this one. We'll do another check here in maybe a couple hours, because it's supposed to be well over 100 degrees in Northern California today. We still have quite a few mountains to go through, so hopefully it doesn't get too much warmer out, because, man, I think it's like 108 it's supposed to be in Redding, and I mean, for any car, that's pretty hot, especially if you're going uphill, so so far so good. Alright, so we officially hit 100 degrees. The next pass we have to do is Mount Shasta over there, which you can see kind of peeking out through the fog. A little bit ominous, actually, a little scary looking, but supposedly it's going to be pretty foggy through there, so we'll see. I did see a ways back, it looked like a mid-60s Barracuda on the side of the road. I didn't stop because they had a fire truck next to them, so I'm not sure what happened to that guy. It wasn't on fire, but I suppose they had some troubles with overheating, I could assume. So we'll see how we do through. Pretty much the final mountain pass through Mount Shasta, and we'll see what temperatures we get up to. But I have confidence. I think we'll be okay. So what I first thought was fog up on the mountain turned out to be smoke from a forest fire. I guess there are a couple of fires up ahead, actually. One of them very close to the road. Supposedly they're monitoring the fires closely and might be closing the freeway. Hopefully we'll make it through before that happens, if it does. I don't think it's far now. It's getting pretty smoky out here. Yeah. So we're just about to cross the Golden Gate Bridge into San Francisco and hit a little bit of rain. It looks like just a small cloud outside the city, but I'm gonna go ahead and rain X my window. I think I learned my lesson last time. All right, the moment of truth. We have 3/4 of a tank filled back up, which took 9.5 gallons. Let's take a look at our trip odometers. 194 miles we traveled. So we have 194 miles, 9.5 gallons. 20 miles per gallon, or just a little over 20 miles per gallon. Good, not great. Wow, that was an awesome drive through Big Sur and down the coast. Some good twisty roads too. This has been a pretty epic road trip. This thing is such a great car to drive, especially after this Hemi swap. I do still have some stuff to do on it. I want to upgrade the brakes and have some more suspension upgrades, because I'm thinking I want to take this thing to Willow Springs, the racetrack, and I want to see how it does road racing. I know it seems like these old muscle cars are only for like straight line driving and they're not great in curves, but you know, with a few suspension upgrades, I think you'd be surprised at how good these things do. And either way, you know, it's just such a fun car to drive around curves. I'll definitely be back to the drag strip soon too. I still have some burnt rubber from the drag strip. I still have a few ideas on maybe how to get a little bit more power from this Hemi. And there are a few other things I need to finish up as well. That idle air control valve needs to be set up, and I never did get a chance to wire some of those dash lights. I'll have to figure out that shift light too before I hit the track again. And now I know how well it does on the highway and, you know, long drives. I'll for sure be road tripping this thing more. I feel like I can pretty much drive this thing anywhere now. Well, this is the last stop for our trip. We're gonna stay here for the night, and we just have like a half day driving to get home.